Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, Billy man, shit, nigga. They tear their head over, nigga.
Right where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is in fact the If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified rubber-ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, clap it up. It's the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, short out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Convention General Yohana. Today is the Sunday Scripture Breakdown class in Killeen, Texas. We get into the scriptures, breakdown, whatever you got, whatever questions you got. What we going to today is what's the title?
Breakdown Can't Save You.
Breakdowns Can't Save You. We're gonna explore that. A lot of people thinking once I get this breakdown, once I get that breakdown, then I'm good. But that ain't gonna save you. It's something that's something that the Pharisees and the Sadducees felt as well, and that's what Christ was up against. So we're gonna go into that a little later. But if we got any questions in the room, type them in the. Raise your hand, and if you got any questions in the chat, type them in. Kahan?
Sir, seeing if I can get a breakdown of Micah chapter 1 verse 7. I had a question about a specific I got a question about Micah 1 and 7, Dr. Shaw.
Okay, come on.
The book of Micah chapter 1 verse 7, and all the graven images thereof shall be beaten to pieces.
Hold up, Micah? Oh, Salaki, go ahead.
Micah chapter 1 verse 7, and all the graven images therefore shall be beaten to pieces, and all the hires thereof shall be burned with the fire, and all the idols thereof will I lay desolate, for she gathered it of the hire of a harlot, and they shall return to hire of a harlot. What does it mean by hire of a harlot?
What is a harlot?
A whore, sir.
And how does she get that occupation?
By being promiscuous.
Mm-mm. A pimp. Through a pimp who hires the harlot. That's how she has the job. The hire of the harlot. What is the biblical term for a pimp? A whoremonger. A monger is a salesman. Chicken monger sells chicken. A whoremonger sells whores. This is letting you know that the pimps are going to be destroyed with the graven images, with the idols, with the things that destroy our people. That's what it said. And guess what? Guess what? The number one whoremonger is in your community.
The preacher.
Give him a hand. This is about false prophets and the destruction of them. All right. Next, go ahead.
I just want to know how will we break down Romans chapter 14, verse 13.
Romans 14, 13. Read what you got.
Come on. It's Romans chapter 14, verse 13. It's, let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge the rather that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
Dang, that's what I want to talk about today. The perfect scripture. Let us not judge. Okay, how are we judging each other in the past?
We were pretty much like certain sins you would get put to death for.
Right. So let's not judge each other like that anymore.
Come on.
But let's not also put a stumbling block before us so that we will fall. Stumbling block is something that you'll trip over. Right? And you don't want, if I don't want you to fall, then I'm not going to put something in front of you that can help you fall. Right? So read it again.
Come on. It's Romans chapter 14, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Said, let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather.
This is what you judge. You know that every thought that you act out, before you do it, you have to make a judgment call. So what is it saying? Let us judge this rather. Let us focus on this. Let us not stone each other, but let us think about this rather. Keep going.
That no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
This is what I'm gonna start thinking about. I'm gonna stop selling drugs because I know my brother he's struggling with drugs. So now rather than thinking about stoning him for doing them, I'm gonna think about getting them out the community. I'm gonna think about how can I make sure there's nothing that's tripping my people up. That's what this is about. That scripture is him more so saying, since we're all sinners and we all deserve death, let's stop thinking about the death and how we're gonna pick this person out to give them this death. Oh, you doing this? Oh, you evil. Oh, you doing this? Oh, you wicked. Instead of doing that, let us just find a way to not have nobody be called evil. Let's remove all the stumbling blocks from the community. The drugs, the whores, the churches, all of the lies, the deceits. We could just, now the ground ain't got no rocks on it. Nothing that can trip you up as you walk through your daily life. That's what that's about. All right. I'm a one.
So, like, sir, if I may, I'm trying to get a general breakdown of basically regeneration. Like, so if Melchizedek was Christ and Solomon was Christ, how does that translate into the kingdom? Are they there separate? Are they there once? Or what's the UPK stance on it, sir? Pop the shot.
Okay, where's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at right now?
Are they dead?
Are they? Somebody?
On earth.
How you know?
Because I guess like every soul gets judged and brought back to the earth.
Okay, give me Second Ezra's 1. And then somebody give me 12 thrones judging. Give me that first. Right? Give me 12 thrones first. That should be in Matthew. This is what you got to understand. Okay, you're asking about who? Who you asking about?
So like, yes, sir. I was just like you know, so we say Melchizedek was Christ,
Right.
Adam was Christ,
Right.
or you know,
Solomon was Christ.
Solomon was Christ,
Right.
things of that nature. Like, so in the kingdom, like would they all be there, like individually, like
Would Adam, Solomon, all of them be there individually? No, because they would be Christ. Christ is them. So it's just like if I said you were somebody else and you were this person, you can't separate into 4 different people because you were just these different people in different points of time. So you are the man from the past in the present. So if you was Isaiah, you can't, when the kingdom come, be I'm a one and Isaiah and Daniel and Lot or whatever. You can't be 4 different people because that's who you were in the past. You feel me?
Kind of on concept.
You are I'm a one. What's going? And this is a cold point. Give me that scripture about the names written down.
You want the 12 thrones? You want the
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
It's the book of Matthew.
Yeah, you got
19.
the on the gates. Yeah, give me that too. But go ahead and read that.
Come. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse.
I thought it was 19 and 28. 19 and 28. Yeah. 19 and 28. Yeah.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 28. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging 12 tribes of Israel.
So the people, he's talking to the disciples that's in front of him. And he's saying them that followed him in the regeneration shall sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? So what is he telling the disciples? I'm a one.
That they will I guess sit on the throne in the regeneration.
How?
So like you start, I don't know.
I'm sorry, Christ. Go ahead and give them back to somebody else.
Right, I can't word it verbatim, but
Just take your time.
The spirit subjected to
the spirit of the prophets is subjected to the prophet. That's right. So I'm trying not to get you down. Go ahead, Kahan.
Because they were the 12 disciples, is this Christ telling them that you're going to come back as the 12 disciples and judge, and sit on the 12 thrones with me and judge the nation of Israel?
Okay, so you heard what he just said. Christ said that these 12 men that walked with him are going to come back and sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? You follow me? I'm on.
I don't know, sorry.
What you next?
If I could, sir. So you're saying in heaven, so in the kingdom, in Christ's kingdom, we will know who the 12 disciples are because they'll be the same ones.
Yes. Now we finna show you. Read that verse that you got.
The second Ezra.
No, Revelation.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 21 and verse 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Nah, I want the one with the disciples.
Oh, come on.
She said 12 apostles.
Come on.
So, because this about to go there. And so since we here, we might as well go all the way there. Let me see, 12 apostles.
Let me see.
So if I could, sir.
KJV. Yeah. Revelations 21 and
14.
Was it 21:14?
Let's see. Oh, right here,
Yeah. Read that.
This is verse 14. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
So now this goes to your question. Where are the disciples? Where are the apostles at now?
On earth.
They're on earth, right? Christ is going to come back, and they're going to have 12 thrones, and their names will be written in the walls of the kingdom, right? If their name is going to be written in the walls, what name is going to be written in the walls? That's your question.
Right.
Go ahead.
Salaki, would it be whatever their name is at the time of Christ's regeneration in his kingdom?
Give him a hand. So the name that's going to be written on the wall will be Commander General Yohana.
Right.
The wall will say Yohana, Mahaiman, Hazayan,
Right.
Mayak Allah. That's the name that's going to be written. And we're going to see those names written on the wall. And we're going to see them men sitting on 12 thrones. And we're going to say, these was the damn disciples all along. Damn. Oh, my goodness. How do we know? Because Christ prophesied that he was going to give them this. And now we're watching him give them this. See, people look at Christ when he came as if it was some spooky thing. Christ fulfilled all of the prophecies of the Messiah. That's why people was like, so is it you? That's the same thing they did with John the Baptist. John the Baptist fulfilled all the prophets of the forerunner of Christ. So what was they asking him? Are you Elijah? And what did he say? Nah. Why did he say lie? Because he wasn't Elijah. He was who?
John the Baptist.
He was John. Nah, I ain't Elijah. What the hell are you talking about? But why did the people say that he was Elijah?
Because he fulfilled the prophecies that were spoken.
Well, when we see 12 men sitting on the 12 thrones with their names written in the wall, then we know they were who?
The 12 disciples.
That's it. That's how we know it. Because they fulfilled the prophecy.
What is that?
No sweat. I am the boy. Go ahead.
One more, sir. Back in Micah chapter 4, I had a question about verse 5. It's a while, I like to start at 3.
Come on.
The book of Micah chapter 4, verse 3. And he shall judge many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Verse 4. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it. Verse 5. For all people will walk every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. So in verse 5, is that saying in the kingdom of heaven, these other nations, yes, they will have to follow our laws, our laws, statutes, and commandments, But would they be serving their gods in the kingdom?
Go read. Start at verse 4. Go to verse 4.
The book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But they shall sit every man under his vine.
What is that under his vine and his tree?
With their nation,
Yeah.
with their people.
Yeah. Everybody's going to have their own nation. And they're going to all be together. Right? Keep going.
Under his vine and under his fig tree.
Mm-hmm.
And none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it.
Who is that? Who's not going to be afraid anymore? Who's going to have? I jumped ahead of me. Who is going to have their own vine, their own fig tree, and not be afraid anymore?
The nation of Israel, sir?
Yes, that's what that's about. The nation of Israel won't be ashamed or confounded, a world without end. Right? And because the Lord said that's what our lot was going to be. Our reward was that we were not going to be ashamed or afraid anymore. For all the people will walk. Read verse 5.
For all people will walk, everyone in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever.
Now, think about the truth. No, everybody else won't have their own gods. Now, that's off the table. So what does that mean? They will walk in the name of their God.
Now, it wouldn't be they would be walking in the spirit of their God, would it?
I'm one.
Kind of all kinds of stuff. So, like, if I may, do I mean that they will walk like their power, like the heads of like their tribes, like say like 144,000, for example.
Give them a hand. The precept is you are gods, and you shall die as men.
Right.
You would be the outer one that they listen to. And you're going to teach them about who? Your God. Your example of God in the earth will be you. And that's what they're going to learn. They're going to learn about God from you. The way you live, the way you dress, the way you eat, what you put on TV. It's all, television will be in the spirit. The music will be in the spirit. The dress code will be in the spirit. And they're going to get that from you. It ain't going to be God coming down and showing himself. You're going to come down from out your chariot and show yourself. You're going to be walking the streets with golds and all the jewelry and all that in the spirit of Christ, in the spirit of your King, and in the spirit of the Most High. Everybody going to know about your God. All the other gods from the other nations, what we going to do to them, Kahan? I asked you for a reason.
We're going to rule over them.
I asked you for a reason. What are we going to do to the other God and the other graven images?
We're going to tear them down.
Yes.
They're going to become desolate.
That's what's going to happen to them. They're going to be torn down, burnt up, destroyed. Why would we fight all of this fight right now to destroy these other gods and then get in the kingdom and allow them to still have their own gods? That's crazy, right? But a Christian will read that and say, see, in the kingdom, God ain't going to even be tripping about me serving my own God. Nigga, please.
Right.
That's not what's going to be going on. All right? That's good? You good?
Let's walk.
All right. Any more questions in the room? Questions online?
Yes, sir. I got a question in the chat.
Come on.
Brother in the chat says, Salaki, sir, if I may, what is the Garden of Eden in Genesis? Salaki, what is the garden in Genesis and also the trees, sir? And are the rivers that came out of the Garden of Eden literal or spiritual?
The Garden of Eden is the land that we trying to fight to get back to right now. When we got kicked out of our land, the Lord put angels around it so we couldn't come back in it. Why? Because the Garden of Eden was the kingdom. He called all the other nations that were round about the garden. What were they called?
Trees.
All beast of the field.
Right.
So where did they stay?
In the wild.
In the field. What now? You from the streets, huh?
Right.
What's the field? Huh? The hood. That's what their place was compared to your place. What is a garden? How is a garden a field? Is a garden in a field? It is, but is it a field? Now, why isn't it? What makes it different?
It's upkept. It's in order.
That in order. That's what the garden was. The garden was in order. It was structured in the garden. Adam was in there naming everything. It wasn't no power struggle between him and Eve. That's a zebra. No, I think it's a donkey with stripes. A striped donkey. It wasn't none of that. That's a zebra. That's a lion. That's what this goes. This is over here. That means the trees was in order. The food was in order. Adam was the first king. That's what he was. He was a king. And everybody that saw him was jealous of him. Everybody looked at how well Adam was doing, and they was hating. Like, how does he know all this? How is he doing all this? How did he get all that in order like that? All I do is see him walking around looking in the sky. What's that? How is he getting all this information? So then the most subtle beast of the field comes into the garden. And he doesn't go to the man that's out working, that's getting everything established. He goes to the help meet and say, yeah, what they said about that over there. See what God knows, that if you know this,
Right,
you'll be just as powerful as him. And she like, babe, did you hear what he said? He's so, no, what happened? If we do this, well, it's cool, whatever. What they want to do, baby. And then the next thing you know, we lost the garden. The garden was a literal place. The rivers around it was your borders. That was the borders of our land, the water. Now, if you got water on the top, the bottom, the left, and the right, what does that mean you control?
Everything.
You control all the ports.
right.
Everybody got to come in to you, the fish, everything. So you got land, air, and sea. You in the land of oil, the land of milk and honey. The Lord was like, nah, you ain't finna think like that and live here. You're not finna be in the land of power. The land is power by itself.
Right.
That's why every time the Lord get mad at us, like the land don't belong to us. The land belongs to the Lord. That's why he constantly kicks us out and puts us back in. He's the landlord. He kicks us out the land, put us back in the land, kicks us out the land, put us back in the land based off of our behavior. Because the land belongs to him. The same way he put angels around the land to keep us out of it, he did that all through the time of history with other nations. And so our riches and our identity started from having that excellent land. You see what I'm saying? So the water was literal, the land was literal, the land was actually a place of power because of where it's at. And so now, if this is the land, if this is And you got to think the Middle East is what we had. We didn't have just the land of Israel. We had the entire, so Saudi Arabia, all that. From Lebanon all the way down. We had mostly all of that whole Middle East. And we got it back when?
During the time of King David,
Before that.
King Saul.
So like it was it Joshua?
Joshua.
Caleb?
Yeah, Joshua. That's what Moses didn't get to go into. And they gave out lots. They're like, all right, y'all, Naphtali, you got up there. Reuben, you right here. Gad, you right here. And when we got taken out of the land again, the heathens divided our lots. That's why you got Pakistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, all them different countries in our land. They the Gaza Strip, Israel, all that. That's ours. All of that whole Middle East was ours. And we lost it. But we're going to get it back. That's what we're fighting for right now.
Right.
If disobedience made us lose it, then obedience will make us get it back.
Right.
That's all it is. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just hard for you to get it through your head to be obedient.
Right.
Because you've been cultivated to think that you can't be like Christ, even though you only talk about being like Christ. All your life, I'm Christ like. What WWJD? What would Jesus do? He wouldn't do what you doing. Oh well, we all fall short. God know my heart. Nobody perfect. But practice make perfect, don't it? Are you practicing sin every day?
Damn.
So you practice. You sin every day, right? And yeah, you're a sinner every day. So that means you practicing sin. So what does that make you? What kind of sinner are you?
A repeater.
Sis? Habitual is good. Huh?
A perfect sinner.
You're a perfect sinner. You believe in perfection because you practice sin. You're a perfect sinner. You just don't believe in the perfection of Christ. You believe that, you just want to do what you want to do, and you want Christ to pat you on the back. Christ know my heart. He know I'm a sinner. So it's okay. I can keep sinning. No, you can't. When Christ was walking the earth and he caught people in sin, what did he tell them?
Sin no.
No, go ahead.
Sin no more.
Go and sin no more.
Right.
This is before he died. So before he died, what was known? What was he teaching? Don't be a sinner. Go and sin no more. If we are creating an environment like that in here to where we try to live a life to where we go and sin no more. Those people are the people that's going to deserve that land. Those people that go into the land with the mindset, not the mindset of Eve. The mindset of Eve was, he ain't gonna be tripping. It ain't really that big of a deal. You're gonna be the reason we get kicked out of the land. You're not gonna make it. But if you going into the land already functioning the way we were supposed to function in the beginning, you'll never lose the land. That's what we're doing. All right. Next.
No question in the chat.
It's like if I had a precept of what you were saying.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 17. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord.
Getting ready for the Lord?
Prepared for the Lord.
What does it mean to be prepared? Kahan?
Already be ready.
Already ready. not getting ready. Everybody waiting on Jesus, so then they're gonna get right when Jesus come back. That ain't what Christ is waiting on. Christ is waiting for a people that's already ready. It's like Christians think that they're gonna go into the kingdom and then be built up. Nobody want a car that they gotta sit and watch get built.
Right.
Now, a car you see a picture of. That's what Christians think. They got a picture of heaven in their mind. And they look at it, it's going to be such a beautiful day. And then Christ's going to come, and he going to just build it up right in front of us. Like, look, they putting the tires on. You see how they put the steering wheel in there? It's nice. I like that. You think the kingdom of heaven is going to be built like that custom house, that house that you got made in your neighborhood from the ground up?
Right.
No, you're going to build that. You're going to walk and do a test. You're going to do a test drive of that car before he buy it. He's going to walk through that house before he get in it.
Right.
You're going to look at it and see what's the AC on in here. Is it blowing? I don't feel it. I might need to check that out. What's wrong with this? Huh? No, I'm not talking about you. The test drive in the car. You're like, dang, you feel that it's kind of jerking. I don't like how that. What is he gonna say? Before I buy it, you need to do what to that?
You need to fix it.
You need to fix that. If I'm gonna buy this house, and if I'm gonna buy this car, this is what you're gonna fix before I buy it. That's what Christ is saying to you. You're gonna have to fix those things that's wrong with you. Broken car with no suspension. Your brakes is squealing up and down the street. Ain't had an oil change in 2 years, and it's sitting in the sun, and the oil turning the water to cake batter. No, you're gonna have to get all that fixed, because I ain't trying to have a lemon. Christians think that Christ want a lemon. That's crazy. That's insane. All right, I'm done. That's it. What is faith? Give her a hand. That's the best answer you can give, sis. Faith ain't belief. Faith is works. I can tell by what you believe by what you do. Give me Mark 2. Mark 2, and we're gonna start at verse 1.
So this is the book of Mark, chapter 2 and verse 1. And again, he entered into Capernaum after some days, and it was noised that he was in the house. And straightway many were gathered together, insomuch that there was no room to receive them. No, not so much as about the door. And he preached the word unto them. And they came unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was born of 4. And when they could not come nigh unto him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was. And when they had broken it up, they let down the bed wherein the sick of the palsy lay.
Stop. What just happened right here? There was a man, their brother, that was sick. And Christ was teaching, and they knew Christ was in their teaching. And they knew Christ could heal their brother. So what did they do? Did they say, well, we believe, Lord, be with us? They got on top of the roof and tore the roof down. They tore the roof. Imagine if the school was so full and somebody was trying to get up in here and we start hearing bum, 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 bum on the roof, and then the roof, they start opening up and they start coming down the tiles. Why you sitting up in here? Somebody pull the tiles up right here, about here, and they start pulling up all these tiles. People like, hey man, what the hell going on? And then a brother start coming. They got a brother on a bed on some strings, and they bring him down in the room. Why did they do that?
They had faith that Christ was on him.
That's what they did it for. They knew we even took him to all of the doctors. Nobody was able to do nothing. We tried everything that we could try. I know what's gonna work. I know if I get him in there to see them, he gonna be healed. You know what happened? They dropped him up in that room and keep reading.
Come on, sir. Verse 5. When Yahushua saw their faith,
When he did what?
when he saw their faith,
What did Christ see?
Their work.
He saw their works. Now, a Christian, you can't see their faith
right.
because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So in their mind, faith is something you can't see. In actuality, what that means is you can't see the Most High. But the evidence that I believe is because of the substance, the thing I do. That's the evidence in what I believe in, what I do. Christ said, what?
When he saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sins be forgiven thee.
Keep going.
But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, why doth this man thus speak blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God only?
What did they say?
Who can forgive sins but God only?
What is the only thing they saw through this whole interaction? What's the only thing they heard?
Is it God forgiving sins?
That's it. Somebody came through the roof, was healed, got up. They said, what he said? That's what people do. People don't like what we say, but they ignore what we do. That's you know why? Because they think the breakdown is how they're gonna be saved. What you're gonna have to understand and learn is that your breakdown or your understanding of what this scripture means, it don't mean nothing. What matters is what you do. They ignored the fact that Christ healed this man. The only thing that was important to them is what they could judge. Pay attention. The only thing that was important to them is how they could judge Christ, how they could vilify him for what he did. And that's what people are looking for in you. They're not looking at how much you're changing. They're looking at what they see in you that hasn't changed yet. And now that's the only thing they talk about. Now, all the change you made over here, they don't care. But he's still doing this, though.
Right.
She's still dealing with this, though.
Right.
Yeah, I am. And I'm working on that. That's like you going to the gym and you working on, arms and all that. You got your arms getting toned, your legs getting toned, but the gut just ain't caught up with you yet.
Right.
He in the gym all the time, but look at that gut.
Right.
He in there skipping their core day. He's just doing arms and legs. Like, damn, it's coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give it a little time. That's what people want to do. People just want to judge you on what's wrong. So that's why you got to be perfect. Because now they can't judge nothing. Now what's your excuse? I got the stomach, the arms, and the legs. Now what you got to say? Well, I mean, it just ain't for me. That's for you.
Right.
That's your Jesus, your God. That's your lifestyle that you want to live. But that ain't for me. That is what Christ went through. So you best believe it, you're going to go through it too. These men hated. They didn't have nothing good. And you know the worst part about it is these Pharisees and Sadducees, they hated the sick. Because they wasn't happy that he wasn't sick anymore. They wasn't like, oh man, it's a beautiful thing, man. You're not crippled no more. You're not laid up on this bed. They hated him.
Right.
They didn't care. The only thing they heard out of everything they saw was that Christ said, your sins are forgiven. And the only reason it offended them is because they didn't understand it. Having the breakdown ain't gonna do nothing for you, because even if you got the breakdown or hear the breakdown, you're not gonna understand it until you see it. The works. Go ahead.
Good question, sir. So like it, sir. So in the kingdom, the Pharisees and Sadducees, or the people that hated on Christ, is they gonna hate on the righteous in the kingdom still?
Oh no, ain't gonna be no Pharisees and Sadducees in the kingdom.
Or the spirit of the people that was.
That spirit is gonna die here. That's what Judgment Day is. Judgment Day is the day that Christ comes and put all of his enemies under his feet. How many of them? How many of them gonna die? How many? It's a number. It's a number they say.
Oh, yeah.
How many of Israel?
2/3.
2/3. 2/3 of Israel will be destroyed.
Right.
Because that's the people that's wicked.
So that destroying is that mindset.
No, that destroying is death.
Okay.
Yeah, that's bye-bye. Shalom. We'll see you in 1,000 years.
That's all.
And when after that 1,000 years, what are we going to be doing? Who's going to be in the kingdom for 1,000 years?
The ones that serve Christ.
The righteous.
Right.
And the 1/3. It's going to be some people that's going to make it into the kingdom that ain't going to even know why the hell they was there. They're going to be in the they're going to get to the kingdom like this with a blunt right here. They're going to be there, but oh damn, why they going to make it?
Because they get the prophets reward.
So what did they do?
They helped us.
They helped you.
The prophets.
Yeah, they helped you out. When your rib kicked you out and told you wasn't nothing, you went to your cousin's house and stayed on his couch. He was selling weed and eating pork, but he looked out for you.
Right.
And Christ was like, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. When I was in prison, you looked out for me. And so they're not going to even have a clue why they there. But when they see it, they're going to get in line. They're going to get in line. And for 1,000 years, the 144 and the 1/3 is going to be the people of the foundation of the nation for 1,000 years, meaning dying and coming back. Dying and coming back. You're not going to see no pork. You're not going to see no crosses. You're not going to, all that's going to get purged out. We've been in America, 400 years?
From the concept.
Yeah. Now imagine what 1,000 years of righteousness would do. So now when the kids come back after 1,000 years, that's when your big mama and your daddy and all the wicked people of this time gonna start coming back into time.
Right.
It's gonna be known who they were. And we're gonna just have to keep a close look on a good eye on them, because we're gonna know that it's in them to be sinners. It's in them. And this place is clean. So we're going to keep it clean, and we're going to keep them in line. And they're not going to see anything that could possibly be a what to them? A stumbling block. We're going to move all the stumbling blocks out of the way. And how long do we got to remove the stumbling blocks? 1,000 years. Yeah. Go ahead.
So basically, sir, you're basically saying that for 1,000 years, the 1/3 to the 144 is going to basically be, even though it's going to be our kingdom will never end, but that's going to basically be, can I say, like the
foundation.
Okay, so that's what that 1,000 years for.
Yeah.
To build the foundation for the kingdom of heaven.
It's going to be, we are making a firm foundation for Christ's kingdom. That's what we're doing. The reestablishment of the nation of Israel, the righteousness and obedience for that time period. But this is why this is so important, because most people think, like fake Israelite groups, they think, oh, see, I don't agree with their breakdown on John the Baptist, so I can't come here. I ain't gonna lie, they got a good food program. They got a good they do this, they do the clothes drive, prison program, counseling, marital counseling, individual counseling. They feed people, they helping people. They can run down the whole list. I ain't gonna lie, I agree with at least 98% of what they say.
Right.
What? But the 2%, I just can't get down with that. So now you gonna not serve the Lord because of something you don't understand. It ain't that it's 100. It ain't that we not 100% in what we saying. You just ain't smart enough. You ain't spiritual enough to understand it. So you just gonna throw the whole body away. When Christ said, "If your right eye offends you, pluck it out." You should get rid of your dumb mind. That's what you should get. That's what you should be throwing away. Christ was saying, you can't pour old wine in new jars. You can't mix old fabric with new fabric. You mess up the whole fit. You mess if you take a white tee and go play basketball in it, and then detach it and put it on and sew it to a fresh tee. You're gonna look stupid because they don't even go together. You should just get a brand new shirt out the pack. But you're so consumed by your own arrogance. And that's what the Pharisees and Sadducees were doing. Keep reading.
Concept. Verse 8.
Yeah, that's it.
And immediately when Yahushua perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, why reason ye these things in your heart? Whether it is easier to say to the sick of the palsy, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and take up thy bed and walk.
Keep going.
But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins, he said to the sick of the palsy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed and go thy way into thine house.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all, insomuch that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, we never saw it on this fashion.
Let me tell you something. Do you know how to get the Lord on your side? Do you know the only thing the Lord wants from you? It's two things. And if you could tap into this, it's two solid things that you need to understand. It's really three. Brotherhood is just so important. And I know, you know what? I know y'all get tired of them brotherhood scriptures. I know y'all get tired of hearing about Matthew 18 and 15. I know you get tired of hearing about all the, if you don't love your brother, then you don't love me.
Right.
I know you get tired of it, but you still don't do it. That's the crazy part. You tired of hearing it? So why in the hell are you still doing it? We're not going to ever move on until you pass the test. But I'm still hearing about you hating your brother. I'm still hearing about you hating your husband. I know you can't stand him. He ain't shit. Your wife, she ain't shit. I'm hearing about it, but you tired of hearing the scripture. When are you going to apply it? Yeah, McCon, Most High Christ. If I could, let me say something. Let me say something on the point. But you ain't doing it. What are we talking about? So you tired of the brotherhood scriptures that you ain't applying. So you're tired of hearing about brotherhood, but that's one of the most important points for this and for your life. Another thing is obedience, right? And another thing is giving the Lord his glory. All the Lord want is it was the Lord. Hey, man, that's a nice car. Man, it's the Lord. Man, that's a nice house. Oh, it's the Lord. Man, them clothes look good. Oh, man, it's the Lord. The Lord like, oh, yeah. letting everybody know it's me. Give him some more. Give him a little bit more. They be like, man, you've been doing good lately. It's the Lord. The Lord don't want to share his glory. Right? I'm doing all this for you. I don't want you looking at everybody. Man, look at their stuff. They so, man, I sure wish I. He like, I gave you what I want you to have. Be thankful for that. The little stuff you got, you should be thankful for that. But you study looking at everybody else, you know, I want to take you from the bottom to another place, but you ain't even thankful for this. You ain't even said it's the Lord about this. Damn. So I'm not going to increase you because, well, you know, man, my check ain't came in yet. And, you know, the SSI people, they acting like they don't want to give my little bread. And listen, you should say, hey, man, it's the Lord. Whatever I got going on, the Lord will provide. He like, oh, yeah? You put me to the test? You trying to see if I'm going to do something? Yeah, but go ahead and give it to him. And then after you, let me tell you how you anger the Lord. Man, that's fresh, but you know how I do. You know, I keep it on me. Keep it on you, huh? You see that, y'all? You see how he flipped the switch on me so quick? Over a t-shirt. They got a new t-shirt, and the nigga and Nas all him. Can't trust these niggas with nothing. That's what, if you want to just tap into the Lord, start giving him all the credit. Another thing, stop giving the white man so much credit too. Right. It's the Lord. I lost my job. I don't know. The Lord must be trying to move me from over there. Not the devil is busy. The devil is busy. That ain't it. And the devil is it's the Lord. That's what it is. Right. I do good and evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. The Lord wants his glory for it all. That's what he wants. When stuff happens, he wants you to be mad at him. When somebody in your family dies and you looking at the devil being busy, it's not it's the Lord doing this to you. Stop playing with me. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing. I'm slapping you upside your head. I'm showing you death is a tool for the living. It's a class for you to remind you how fragile you are, how close you are to that. That's what death is. It's to make you focus. If you wasn't focused because you was distracted by this and you over here distracted by that, it's to center you into this. Like, hey man, life is more important than us being mad at each other. Life is more important than just fighting for this and trying to get that. Life is more, and I gotta get more spiritual. Yeah, you better center yourself back in and realign your mind what's really important. Because at the end of it all, when that pain hits your chest, the first thing you're gonna do is call on the Lord. You're gonna be like, oh my God. Never in my life have I ever heard somebody say, oh Allah, oh Buddha. Right. You say the atheists say Jesus H. Christ. Right. The atheists.
It's like we was watching that video that you did the other week. Joe Rogan, the woman was breaking down them nukes. Like, yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's exactly right. That's all you can call on. So, give me another scripture. Oh, shit. Give me John 5. John chapter 5, verse 5.
Colonel Concert, this is the book of John, chapter 5, verse 5. And a certain man was there.
Okay, wait. This is about the pool of Bethesda. Does anybody know what the pool of Bethesda is? Go ahead.
Is that when the brother was I think he was crippled, and he was waiting by the pole, and everybody else was running to the pole.
Okay, yeah. I'm
gonna say the story, right?
now you're right. I'm trying to see where I want to start. Start at verse 4.
For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
So there's a pool that whoever got in it first got healed. All right? Keep going.
Sir. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years.
How long?
38 years.
That was a man that laid at that pool for 38 years. That some of y'all just made 38. So imagine laying there your entire life wishing for just one person to sit there with you and push you in the pool at the right time.
Right.
Him sitting there for 38 years mean he was not able to get healed because he had no help. He had nobody to help him. Go ahead,
Salaki, sir. That was heavy bringing it out because you would think if he sat there for 38 years, he was first every day to the pool.
He was always there first. He just didn't have no help getting in it. He looking at the pool like this every day. And then when the water started being troubled, somebody with help was like, come on, let's go. And they get in the water. And he got to lay there and watch for 38 years, everyone else rejoice. Every time. Now, come on. Now, just that's why brotherhood is important.
Right.
We're going to show you some other. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 6. When Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, would thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, sir, I have no man.
I have what?
I have no man.
He's like, sir, Salakia, I don't have no help. I want to be made whole. I'm laying here to be made whole. I don't have no help. Keep going.
I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another step is down before me.
While I'm crawling, trying to get into the pool, somebody steps in front of me for 38 years. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 8. Yahushua said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath.
Keep going.
The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, it is a Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed.
They said, man, you walking. You the brother from the pool that's been out there 38 years. Man, it's good to see you walking. They said, wait a minute. You carrying your bed today? Who the hell told you to carry your bed today? You know it's the Sabbath.
Good night.
This man is about the first day he takes a step, he about to die.
Good night.
The first breath of fresh air he gets, somebody that's always trying to be more righteous than you because they got breakdowns is trying to punish you with the truth. They're weaponizing the Bible. They're weaponizing your history. They're weaponizing God's word to make it to where you're smaller than them because they don't want God to get the glory. Go ahead.
Salaki, Cal, what you saying so heavy? So this man's whole life was so the Lord could show whole ass niggas and the power of God through Christ.
Yes. And the first thing that came out their mouth was, read that part again.
Sir. It is a Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed.
Keep going.
He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk.
Keep going.
Then asked they him, what man is that which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk?
Now who got it? Guess who else the next culprit is? The next villain. Your helper, your teacher. They over there brainwashing you. We over here helping you walk.
Damn.
They over there, they you in a cult. Who teaching you that? Who you learning that from? Where you getting that help from? They ain't helped you ever. The Christian church ain't helping you at all. But now they got something to say about us helping you. The Christian church ain't teaching you nothing, but now they got something to say about us teaching you. The spirit of being a Pharisee and a Sadducee is all around you.
Right.
It's in your mama house, your granny house, it's in your church, it's in your community, because they're going to vilify the only people that think about helping you when you're down, when none of them ever thought about helping you when you were down. For 38 years, they watch you suffer, and as soon as you start trying to breathe and stand up, they try to put you down with a breakdown that they don't understand.
Right.
First thing they went to was, this the Sabbath day. And Christ was cutting them on. They wasn't following the Sabbath the right way. So you imagine how many people they've killed, destroyed over their misunderstanding. How many lives were lost because of their misunderstanding? And they were in the seat to punish you through their stupidity.
Damn.
Keep going.
Come, sir. Verse 13. And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Yahushua had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward, Yahushua findeth him in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more.
Do what?
Sin no more.
Right back at it. Starting from the top. You clean now.
Damn.
I washed you up. Now, don't go and sin no more. So Christ didn't persecute him. You know, Christ said, just, hey man, don't go be a sinner. Be righteous. Go ahead.
Like, sir, so we can assume that was a condition that he got in that lifetime from sinning in a previous life because of Christ saying that?
That's what Christ is saying. He's like, you clean now. Don't mess up your credit, because sin is the thing that's going to put you back in the predicament that you're in. The Lord you're going to get punished again by the Lord. So that you don't anger the Lord, don't do nothing that would anger the Lord. Sin no more. Keep going.
Come, sir. Lest a worse thing come unto thee.
Lest what?
Lest a worse thing come unto thee.
The Lord's grace freed you from this. Don't come in here and play after being cleaned, because if you do, worse things can happen to you. You thought the palsy was bad. Wait till you meet, the new hybrid disease that's going to come and hit you. It's coming right to you, because 7 more wicked spirits is going to enter in and dwell there. Keep going.
Come. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Yahushua which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day.
They didn't say, hey, man, that was a good thing you did on the Sabbath, man. You know what I'm saying? Healing that brother that's been there for 38 years with no help. We didn't help him. We didn't have the power to help him. You had the power to help. Hey, man, that was an excellent thing. They said, man, we got to kill him.
Right. We
got to kill him for helping him. And we're not haters. He's just breaking the law. We're not haters. No. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. He healed. Yeah, that's what's up. But it's just he's breaking the law, man. It's just, we gotta be righteous and uphold the law.
God damn.
That's what they're doing to you. They like, oh, you doing this? This is the book of they reading you a scripture out of the spirit, out of context, which is whooping you upside your head, making you think that you confused, making you think that you living wrong, making you think like, and you living with guilt. They flipping through the Bible and said a man would be the husband of one wife. And now you got two women and you thinking you sinning against God.
Right.
And now you got a grievous heart because you thinking to yourself like, man, Lord, I'm so sorry. I just love both of these women. I love both of them. And I'm a sinner. Because they telling you wrong. Then you come to class and then somebody tells you and frees you and says, the Bible says a man can have more than one wife. You're like, I knew I wasn't tripping. And they like, why you look so happy? Because I just got the breakdown.
Good night.
That I can have more than one wife. Who told you that? Where you at? We got to get rid of him making you happy, freeing you from the bondage that I'm putting under you through my stupidity. Where is he at? That's your life. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Verse 17. But Yahushua answered them, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him.
The Jews loved him.
Sought the more to kill him.
He said, my Father work here, and I do too. It's like, what? Hang on, this is what we're going to do. Right. They wanted to kill him more. Keep going.
Come on. Because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his father, making himself equal with God.
Now, did he say he was equal to God? He called God was his father. But now they looking for another reason to kill him.
Good night.
Through their misunderstanding. It's not justifiable. They're just dumb. Your breakdowns is not going to save you. Your breakdowns that you got are the broke downs.
Right.
That's right. We break the scripture down. You take what's broke down and you go and teach it your way. And now you got a bunch of people listening to your stupidity. And you vilifying and punishing people from your misunderstanding. And you're talking about Yahushua and the judgment that's coming to this world. When you don't know, the more you talk, the more gasoline you get to put on your drawers.
Right.
They say, what they say back in the day? You going to hell with gasoline drawers?
Right.
That's you're making it worse for yourself through your misunderstanding, and really through your hate for the Most High. That's really what it is. It's hatred toward the Lord. Go ahead, Karan.
I just want to bring out something real quick, sir, because before you got to this topic right here, what you just speak about before the first version. So before you got here, so check this out real quick. I just want to say something. Okay, so now you remember the time? I believe it was like early 2000s or maybe late 90s when they start bringing around just the New Testament books, where everybody was running around knocking at the door with they talk about a new Bible. And it had just New Testament only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you just got that New Testament only, and I just feel like at that time, that's when they were really starting to talk about that word cheating became very, very popular.
That word, cheating. Okay.
Cheating.
Yeah.
So now, this is what's crazy. If you think about it, because if you just go back to the Torah, right? You will read in Deuteronomy that is rules and regulations if you have more than one wife.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks it down for us to understand. When he was talking about the kids, if one of your wives had one that you hated in that first house, and get inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is this: do you think that this is a question I'm asking? Do you think that they did that so that it will make it easier for America so they can adopt the philosophy of American with the one woman thing?
Okay, what about divorce?
You are adulteress.
What? No. What about divorce? Women think that it's a good thing to just get mad at their man and want their man out the house. and want to divorce their man, right? Why is that? Let's take it off of multiple wives.
Okay.
Let's take it off of let's put it on to something that's more practical to today's time.
All right.
Right? Divorce. Or I don't want to deal with him because he ain't this or he ain't that, right? Okay, if you're dealing with that, what spirit is that? Is that the spirit of you just hate your man, or what? Who is it, or what is it that you really hate?
It's lucky, sir. Is it the Bible?
It's deeper than the Bible.
The Lord.
You hate the Lord's structure. You hate the Lord. You don't know what love is. You don't know what order is because you've never been. You hear it every day in class. You get the structure. There is a place that's pushing the structure and that's teaching it, but you ignore it for your own personal gain. All of this stuff that's going on in our society is done because people want to do what they want to do. People want to believe what they want to believe. It ain't just the white man, it's the black man. What you in the house fighting against your man, or you fighting against your woman because you have an agenda that you're trying to push that's against God's agenda. How many times do you get mad at your rib and you take her to counsel? Y'all don't hear each other, right? Y'all take it to each other. You don't hear each other. Then how many of you just take it to counsel? Then don't we teach that every damn week? In the law class, in the brotherhood class, you hear it at least 4 times a week from 6 different channels online. Matthew 18-15. If a brother offend thee, it's brothers and sisters. Why don't you apply it? Is it the lack of hearing it? It's the lack of applying it. You are still a Christian in your spirit. You're just like the Pharisees and Sadducees. That's the whole point of this class. Everybody want to pull a scripture to vilify you and to whoop you and bust you upside the head, but you're not applying it. You're not using these scriptures. That's what they're here for. They're not just records for you to read. They're records for you to read and learn from through application. You understand? So the problem is nobody believes the Bible enough to do it. That's why we're in captivity. We're in captivity because nobody doing it. It ain't that it ain't being taught. We teaching it right now. We reading it right now. The application is the problem. Once we start applying this book out, the kingdom of heaven will be in this room. You understand? Y'all see, y'all ain't trying to hear that. That's crazy. Ain't getting no cons on that one. Niggas in there like. Go ahead.
No, so like I said, if I may, to ask a question to that, like, what do you think it is, like, that brothers wouldn't take their ribs to counsel? Like, you think it's like a pride thing, or like a sense of like, well, I ain't no host, so I ain't finna just be going like what do you think it is behind it, the spirit behind it?
It's the same thing we just read. It's this. Okay. Give me John 11.
Come on, concept.
John 11:47. I'm gonna show you exactly what it is.
Come on, concept. This is the book of John, chapter.
Wait. Let me see. It is what I want. What you just asked me?
Like what is the spirit behind that? Like when brothers don't want to take their ribs to counsel, like is it like a pride thing, or is it something like, well, I ain't about to be running until I'm just, you know what I'm saying, just gonna ignore it and keep on moving? Keep it, like, what's the spirit behind it?
What's the spirit behind a brother calling and reporting his wife and taking her to counsel? Let's say, for instance, your rib, throw a brick in your window. What you gonna do? How you gonna deal with that? 9 times out of 10, I get a call about that immediately. Say, Salaki, sir, she tripping.
Right.
She just broke my glass. Right? Now, let's say, for instance, she did something and you did something. Who called for counsel? Say it.
She is.
She is. Why? Why she gonna call for counsel then? Because in her mind, her excuse is I was mad. I was hurt. So she don't care as long as she can tell on you. You only want to tell on her when it's beneficial to her getting checked. She don't care about getting checked because she ain't in the truth anyway. So telling on you ain't nothing. It's only a weapon. Y'all are using the truth as a weapon to fight each other. That's what the truth is. The truth is your new police. The new thing that judge your house. So now I'm not calling the white man. I'm going to call and tell his camp leader because he might lose his rank messing with me. Messing with me. I'm going to tell him what he be doing up in here. So you cover his shame all while you're happy. But as soon as you get mad, you weaponize your relationship. You are an enemy in your own house. And you wonder why your relationship is not a relationship. Because y'all are co-conspirator. Y'all are ops in the same bed. And so you tell on her when she pisses you off. She tells on you when you can get in trouble. And none of it is to fix the relationship. None of it. It ain't to help y'all be together and work and be in order. It's like little children. I'm finna get you in trouble. You say something to her. She say something to you. What she do? Hit you. What you do? Oh, I'm about to go tell. Right? Yeah. That's the same thing that's going on in your house. Just with grown people. With beards and breasts and behind. Grown babies. That's all it is. Go ahead. What's up, sis? Uh-huh. What you want to say?
Brotherhood.
What's brotherhood? Brotherhood is loving the people that look like you. It's being a good friend. If you have friends, what do you do with your friends? You play with them. And you're also supposed to share with them. If you have a toy, you want to share with your friend, right? You have a phone. Well, when you have your phone so you and your friend can see it, right? That's brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what's not brotherhood? When you get the phone and you say, no, it's mine. You can't see it because this is mine and we're not sharing. And you go to the other end of the room and get under the covers and lay under the pillow and look at the phone like this. And then the Lord shows you that you were wrong because you were 3 years old with glasses. You're 3 years old? You're very intelligent. Give her a hand. And so that's what it is. And so that's what you got to understand. Don't worry about it. Y'all ain't got to do it. The Lord will raise them up to do it.
That's right.
That's what happened. You ain't got to listen. You too stubborn to serve the Lord. No sweat. The Lord will send these 3-year-olds and the Lord will raise these babies up to do the job that you won't do.
Right.
So like I said, I'll teach a class. Now let's go to let's go to Lazarus. Go to Christ raised Lazarus from the dead, right? Y'all know Christ raised Lazarus from the dead. All right. What we at? John 11.
Come on, sir.
Let's start at 47.
This is the book of John, chapter 11 and verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him.
Listen, this is how they looking at us. They seeing the miracles that's happening in the school by the way you're changing and you're growing up and you're loving each other. They're seeing those miracles. And they're like, what are we going to do about these niggas? Because if we leave them alone, then what?
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. Mm-hmm. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Listen, if we leave them alone, us being the people that everybody look up to, TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar, if these Israelites come and start taking over, then we're going to lose our buildings, our funding. We're going to lose the support from the community. The Romans is going to take away our place, and the people are going to follow them. The churches are getting more emptier by the day.
Right.
Old people coming into the truth. Old people that never would have listened to us is starting to say, you know what, baby, that makes sense. And you're showing it to me out the Bible.
Right.
Reverend Johnson, he didn't know he didn't know where Job was.
Right.
I remember that time he was in the church and he was trying to find Job. It took him 5 minutes to find Job. Everybody's starting to see it, and that's what the religious leaders are seeing. So what is their thing to do to keep their power? Keep reading.
And one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not.
He said, you know what? Y'all need to understand that it makes more sense for one man die than for everybody to go to, because what was going to happen is the way Christ was moving, he was starting a revolution, and we was about to go to war with Rome. Mm. And he was like, no, what we need to do is offer him up so that he could die as an example to the people and for the people. Mm. We can keep our seats. They can see we still in control, and the people can know not to follow this revolutionary that's pushing this new agenda of separating from Rome. Because we like the Romans, and we don't want to go to war with the Romans because they got drones. That's what you look at. You look at America. We can't go to war. We can't fight against them. They got drones. They got air. They got tanks. They got this. You looking at their military might, and that's why your leaders are afraid. I was talking to a good guy one other day, and he was selling some shirts at a sneaker convention, and he said the people was looking at the shirts because it got the KKK on it and Jesus with white Jesus with the 666 on it, and they are just afraid to wear it. They agree with it, but it's like it could make somebody mad. It's like, oh my God, let me take a picture of it. Look, that's right. Y'all, boy, y'all right. Crazy. Right. If now imagine what white people felt like if they went to that convention and saw black people like, oh, let me get a size, let me get a 3X, let me get a 2X, extra large. I'm gonna get you got some in the kids. Right. I want some for my babies. Imagine that. And now you walk in the HEB and you see a family full of shirts with KKK on it, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Christian pastors would be like, oh my God, what is happening? The white man is going to shut the church down. Yes. Because we ain't got these niggas in control no more. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Verse 52. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
Not that nation only, but he can gather together those that scattered abroad. This boy Kai is spitting.
Good talk.
Yeah, I remember he was high priest that year. He was
Okay.
yeah, he high priest. He in the spirit.
Real tough.
Keep going.
Then from that day forth, they took counsel together for to put him to death.
To love him.
To put him to death.
These lovers of God is real violent. Lovers of God keep talking about killing people.
Damn.
And they keep talking about killing people that ain't even at war with them. They was talking about killing the Christ for healing. They keep talking about killing Christ for helping you. Right. He helped the palsy. He helped the blind. He brought a man back from the dead. And they was like, yeah, we're going to have to do something about him. We got to kill him. Read verse 54.
Come with concept. Yahushua therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto a country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples.
There you go. You put that in your precept book. You can put verse 51. You can put 50 all the way to 54 down in your precept book to show them, you know, what Christ's mission was, to gather those that are scattered.
Come with concept. Verse
right,
55.
That's cool. Now go to chapter 12.
Come with concept.
Chapter 12, read verse 9.
Come with concept. This is the book of John, chapter 12, and verse 9. Much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there, and they came not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might see Lazarus also, whom he had raised from the dead.
This is another thing you got to understand. They wasn't only mad at Christ. They was also mad at the person who the miracle was performed on. Why? See, people in the world, they mad at you. I mean, they mad at Christ. Like, they don't know they mad at Christ, but when they speak against what we say and what we teach, they're really speaking against Christ. So they're really hating on Christ. But they also mad at you. Why?
Because we're like we're a product of Christ. Like, we're a product of following him. Like, the output.
We're the proof that what Christ does and says works.
Right.
It makes us look more righteous when you say we're a hate group and we this, then you see us helping people, healing people, feeding people, taking care of people, and they not doing it. They hate you and Christ more. Go ahead.
No, so like sir, ISUPK Austin says he was a walking advertisement of Christ's work.
Give him a hand. A walking advertisement. So they had to get rid of him. They was like, So what they decided to do? Verse 10.
Verse 10. But the chief priests consulted that they might put Lazarus also to death.
Dang, the nigga just came back from the dead. He just came back from the dead. They was like, yeah, we want to kill him too. We got to kill Christ. What's up?
Now, I was about to say a second death is crazy.
Yeah, they gave him second death. We're going to have to unalive him and Christ. Why? Because they breakdowns wasn't working.
God damn.
They standing in the temple teaching too. But when you're not able to vilify a person through a scripture, it takes your power away. Christ never vilified the people through teaching. He taught them. He had mercy on them through helping them understand what they didn't understand. Majority of the people out here in the world, they just don't understand nothing about Christ because they never heard about him, they never met him, and the first time they ever see him or hear about him is through you. That's why your job is so important, because you are the walking advertisement for the truth, for Christ. That's what you are. And so having a whole bunch of scriptures in your tablet is not going to ever help someone with no understanding. Having all the breakdowns. I know the Revelation breakdown. I know the Daniel breakdown. I know the Genesis breakdown. I know this break. I know all the breakdowns. When you go home, if you roll a blunt,
Right.
if you buying prostitutes, if you stealing,
Right.
the breakdowns don't mean nothing. The biggest precept that you can pull is out of a picture and a day in your life. And guess who know you better than everybody? Huh? No, your family.
Right.
The people you trying to get to come to class.
Right.
Y'all got that Christmas tree up? I ain't coming over there. Nigga, you was just at the strip club throwing money with man them.
Good night.
You was just sitting there throwing money. I heard they got the video. You was an ass cheek right here. And you were putting it in the thing, running it down up behind. What are you talking about? You ain't coming to the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is the problem?
Good night.
No, you're going to have to live up to what you teach. All of it. Not some of it, because if you're living up to some of it, then the part you're not living up to is what they're going to use.
Right.
That's why Christ said, go and sin no more. Because if you do, it's going to be worse.
Right.
It's going to be worse. You're going to be worse off than you were before. Now, if you don't believe this, then don't do it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just stop coming around the school so people will stop getting you confused with us like you're a part of us.
Right.
Like you're affiliated. You ain't got to listen. Guess where you can go smoke weed at? Guess where you can go smoke weed at?
So like I say, everywhere but here.
Everywhere else.
Everywhere else in the earth. In my church, when I was in the world, we used to walk out the door. I'm talking about I'm getting straight off the drum set. I was put the drumsticks down, go to the car, and fire up the rest of the blunt that I was smoking before I came to church. And we would stand over on this side of the parking lot. The door over here, we over on this side. We just be out there chopping up. Yeah, man, you see what man, it's going down? Yeah, we played the mess out that song.
Right, real tough.
Hey, everybody, y'all coming to my house? Everybody coming to my house? Hey, pick up some Rillos.
Right.
Pick up some Rillos. We got to be back at the 3 o'clock service.
Good night.
Go to the house, smoke, eat up a whole bunch of pork chops.
Right. Damn.
Some shrimp etouffee. Come right back to the church. High. Sit right up in the church.
Real
High.
tough.
In Jesus' name.
Good night.
Oh, and kind of, you would call that a double-minded man, right?
I would call that a hypocrite. That's what I would call that. That is it's a double-minded man, because in actuality, they really think that they're doing what's right, but they think because of God's grace. You know, a God's grace person is dangerous.
Good night.
A God's gracer, boy, you can do anything with God's grace. Yeah, I know I sin, but God's grace is sufficient. Yeah, I know I ain't right, but God's grace. No, it don't work like that.
Right.
That ain't how it works. Go ahead, read what you got. I know you got a precept.
It's just, in the book of James 1 and 8, I just say the double-minded man
Is what?
is unstable in all his ways.
So now you see why you can't fix your marriage. Because you're double-minded. You in class and the strip club.
Damn.
Them two things warring against each other.
Right.
You in class, you doing this, you getting taught this over here, but you looking at this. That's why it's sisters. I know y'all like entertainment. I know y'all like it. It's funny. It's cool. Shamar and them. What's the gay nigga name? Shamar and Brian and all them gay niggas that be on TV, right? The little Jonathan, yeah, that's his name. Jonathan, all them, the nigga Chef with the big teeth, all them, Natalie, you know what I'm saying? All them, right? Y'all watching them shows, but it's something going in your spirit that's not leaving. It's sitting in there. It's sitting there. It was funny, ha ha ha, but it's something you waiting to see too, because you trying to get your moment. You waiting on your moment where you could bust somebody upside the head too. Yeah, because they got you messed up too. You want to go viral. You want some of that. You want some of that attention. You know what I'm saying? I seen somebody get slept the other day on the video. Had that boy, a young man, in the fetal position. And something in me was like, ooh, I wish I was there. I would have slipped. I would have kicked him in the head. I would have all that, right? And I knew right there, I'm like, damn, see, that's what be happening with them sisters. It happened to me. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I would have sidestepped that boy, hit him with a That's what I'm thinking in my mind. And then I'm like, see, what them sisters be doing. They can't fight that. It ain't as easy as you think. You don't think it's staying in your system. You're thinking it's cutting off in your mind once you turn the video off. No, it's sitting right up in there, waiting for its moment. The demon. You walk in the store, somebody do something, you say, "This it." The demon. It's time. and you snap it to. What you say to me? And then when you walk into the car like this, somebody be like, ain't that the brother from the videos? Yeah. Don't you be on the street teaching about the white man? Look, y'all. And it's gonna show, all right, ISUPK. Damn. And they gonna be like, oh yeah, I was just about to go to their class. But that's what they be doing. Now I think I'm gonna just go back to Granny Church. Go ahead.
Yo, so like it's it's crazy, man. Like you said, we see a video, the demon be having a nostalgic moment with us. You heard me? You be going back in the day, like man. I remember how I had that boy slept like that, face down behind us. You heard me? And you get the remembrance, man. Like just all of the crazy moments you was doing, man. And that whole time. You're not real, like you just said. That's getting your spirit because the simple fact is, why are you thinking that way? If you know what I'm saying, you're the priest of the Most High. If you would change, man, it's like that's why what you said was very heavy, sir. That let you know we can't be having nostalgic moments with our demons, man.
Damn right. Damn right. Go ahead.
So like if I could, so I had a question. More so along the lines of what you were saying before, like even from the beginning, how you was talking about with Adam and Eve and how how it went down in that situation. How would you help a sister understand that you are, or she's inviting herself to a pitfall that she can't realize, even in like conversation maybe with her previous family that tries to they don't see the danger and just we just talk about some, this little this and that little that. It ain't no sin or this, that, and the third. But you as a priest, we can see hey, it's a slippery slope that you kind of walking down, or there's another agenda in play that you not realize.
You can tell her as much as you can tell her, but there's no greater class that you can enroll in than life. I agree. Just let her see it. Sometimes you gotta see it to believe it. Dang. And you just gonna prove that you're a prophet because you said it. And then when it happens, then you can look back at it and say, I told you. Now it's up to that person whether or not they're gonna choose to listen to you or not, or life is just gonna keep teaching them the same lesson in different ways over and over and over again. That's it. Hard head make a soft behind. That's all. That's all gonna happen to him. Go ahead.
So, like you said, I got a question, kind of on the topic when you were saying about not wanting to take your spouse to counsel. Mm-hmm. So, what's the best way to get counsel if one or the other is not willing to get counsel or partake in the counsel?
Get counsel for yourself. Get counsel on yourself. Because let me ask you a question. Were you right about everything in the situation?
I'm sorry.
All right, so then let's just work on me. I'm trying to bring this to a marriage counsel. They don't want to get a marriage counsel. They just too stubborn or too mad. They don't want to talk about it. No sweat, ace like it. Let me tell you what happened, sir. So this and this and that happened. I said this and this and that. Now you are not going to be able to get help if you tell the story. I try to tell the story like I think she gonna tell it. When I get counsel, I try to say all the things that I know she's going to bring up, not my viewpoint of it, because my viewpoint of it is she wrong. Right. So I'm going to use her arguing points to talk about me when I take myself to counsel. And I'm going to say, yeah, you know, so she going to say, you know, she said that I did this and this and that. I did, but it was because that ain't important. You did it? You said that? Oh, no, you shouldn't have said that. And then after that, what happened? Okay, see, you triggered that. That's how it started. You started it. You need that as a man because we all messing up and making mistakes. So don't come into the council like a little kid. They hit me. I ain't do nothing wrong. I was just playing the game. And she just walked in the room and slapped me. No. What did you say before she walked in the room? What made her walk in the room? Well, I ain't gonna lie. Every time I hear I ain't gonna lie. Every time I hear I ain't gonna lie, I be like, oh, here you go. Here you go, right here. This is where it started at, right here. Right. And that, so if she don't want to get counsel, you get counsel. No sweat. All right, read John 3:1.
Sir. This is the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 1.
This is something that I want you to always understand. You may think people don't know who we are. You may think people don't understand what we saying. Read that.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher from God.
Read that part again.
We know that thou art a teacher from God.
Who was the we? Six. The Pharisees and Sadducees knew that Christ was a teacher from God. But what did the Pharisees and Sadducees try to do to Christ every day?
Disprove or try to trip him up.
Kill him. Right. That's what they're trying to do to him every day. We just read 3 or 4 scriptures that said, and from that day forth, they sought to kill him. Right. From that day forth, they sought to kill him and him. From that day forth, they sought to kill him. That's all they wanted to do to Christ, is kill him. Why? Because they knew he was the real deal. Your life as the real deal is going to be hard. But you glory in that. You glory in the suffering that you go through for your king. You are partaking in his suffering. That's what it's saying, Peter. You are partaking in Christ's suffering. And if you partake in Christ's suffering, the very next part said, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward. Like, just imagine you standing 10 toes down with the boss, and he see you. He like, yeah, I'm gonna get back. You got that? I'm gonna give you 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold. I'm gonna give you way more than you ever had, because you stood down. You stood and helped me down when I was in prison. You fed me when I was hungry. You gave me drink when I was thirsty. That's what Christ is gonna see. That's what this is about. But remember and know that they know that you are a man that come from God. What is the step to that?
Come, sir. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with them.
In the councils that they have, on the videos that they do, false prophets. They lying. They in the cult. Did you hear what they said? Did you hear the breakdown that they gave? That's wrong. See, give me this scripture here. They want you to say, oh, they want to confuse you. But when they talking about themselves, man, you see what them niggas did? Right. Every time I turn on the internet, they got some white man kissing their booty. You seen that white man that they had last week? He had a suit on with a briefcase on the side of him. This wasn't no homeless man. They had one with the briefcase. You seen that woman with the hat on?
Hopped out that Benz.
She hopped out the Benz. Did you see that one? How the hell is they doing it? I damn to believe the Lord with them. But hey, you know, we ain't gonna say that out loud.
Right.
Then you got one of them that'll come and hit you in the inbox and be like, look, Shalom. We know that y'all brothers is in the truth.
God
But why do y'all
damn.
say we not in the truth?
Damn.
They say that all the time. They say that all the time. We hear it. Just know, don't be deceived by the lies they tell everybody else because they believe in you. They believe in you so much, they watch all of your classes. Hey, Shalom, fake Israelites, I know you in here right now. And if you're not watching right now, you're going to watch it when the video over. Shalom, I see you. That's what you need to know. This is what you glory in. Give me 2 Corinthians.
Come on, sir.
11 and 25.
Come on, sir. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 25. Thrice was I beaten.
No, wait. Start at 22.
Come on, sir. Verse 22.
Hold up, start at 21.
Come on,
That's
sir.
right.
I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak.
I'm speaking as concerning what I've gone through. See, y'all looking at me like I'm weak because I've gone through this. But this reproach to me, the thing that I'm going through, this is what we are happy about. Keep going.
Howbeit, whereinsoever any is bold, I speak foolishly. I am bold also.
You say they bold, boys in the streets. They out there, they running. We bold too. They got courage. We got courage too. They standing on the block. We standing on the block too.
Right.
That's right.
They banging for they set. We banging for our set too.
Right.
That's right.
They fighting for their family. We fighting for our family too. They in the military. We in the military.
Right.
Y'all got brotherhood. We got brotherhood.
Right.
That's what you need to understand, that you're doing a bigger service than anybody else that's doing what you're doing on the left-hand side. But you respect what they do over there because more people pat them on the back. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I.
Keep going.
Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more.
I'm more than them. They are they ministers of Christ? If you say they ministers, then I'm more. If you think they in the truth, then we in the truth. Keep going.
Come on, sir. And labors more abundant.
Then the labors that we do it more abundant. We do bigger things than they do. They march, we feed. Who eating watching the march? They like, oh, it's a lot of them. I'm so hungry.
Right. Good night.
As they march by, we just, here you go, sis. I know you're thirsty. You seen that band walking up the street? That was a marching band.
Right.
That's all they was. The flags.
Right.
Color guard. Yeah, here go the real work. We do more abundant work. Bigger things. Keep going.
In stripes above measure. In prisons more frequent. And deaths
often. I'm always about to die. That's crazy. That's what Paul said. That stripes, like having to get my stripes, go through getting whooped, getting beat. Yeah, get them all the time. They always about to kill us. Right. They always looking for us. Often. Keep going.
Come, sir. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one.
Listen, man. Of 39 stripes, 5 times. That's Paul, disciple, a follower of Christ.
Right.
Keep going.
Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and day I have been in the deep.
My ship broke down. See, you had car trouble. They had ship trouble.
Crazy.
In the middle of the water, 3 times, in the middle of the deep, Paul and his men. You talking about that little flat you had? You couldn't make it to camp.
Good night.
I couldn't make it. I had a blowout with a dummy in the trunk.
Right.
Paul ain't had no dummy. Paul had to grab on the dummy, grab some wood and float. How many times did it happen?
3 times.
3 times. 3 times in the middle of the deep. Not by the shore. He couldn't just get out the boat and walk around and be like, dang, the boat tripping.
Good night.
He went into the water where it was sharks, whales, and everything else, and had to do that 3 times so he can go and teach about this. And you want to talk about a profession that's more important than this one? Keep going. Wait, somebody at the end? You at the end?
Oh yeah, cousin. I was just gonna add to that point, like, you know, a lot of times, and I know a lot of people be scared of flights. They get one bad flight and they say, well, you know what, Salakia, hey, I'm about to just drive 36 hours. I ain't even about to deal with it. And he's saying, I didn't did this 3 times and I'm still doing
it. And I was in the deep. I wasn't in the lake. I wasn't like I could see the land. I was in the deep. Now, do you know what the water looked like when there's no street lights? You know, when there's no
insane.
Like, imagine the land is probably right there, but there's no light over there to show you that it's land there. And when you're in the middle of the ocean now, it is pitch black.
Right.
And the ocean is very ravenous.
Right.
All it takes is the right wind. One wind and you gone. 3 times. Keep going.
Sir. In journeyings often, in perils of water.
Stop. In journeyings. You look at your man because he always traveling from this city to that city. He always over here. He always over there. That's the job. In perils. What's perils? Hardships. Things not going right. Getting in arguments and quarrels.
Right.
Often. Keep going.
In perils of robbers. In perils by my own countrymen. In perils by the heathen. In perils in the city. In perils in the wilderness. In perils in the sea. In perils among false brethren.
All my life I had to fight.
God damn.
Everywhere I went, I had to fight. Everywhere. In the water, on the land, in the wilderness, in the city, in the field. Everywhere I went, it was some beef.
Right. So like that is perils right there.
Them perils right there. KC4, Mr. Acuna, Kentucky 8, the Atlanta Brave, in perils.
Right.
Keep going.
No, so if I could. No, it's
Go ahead.
Mr. No, I was just gonna say the Mr. Acuna.
That was in perils.
Sir.
So perilous.
In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness.
I wonder why he was saying in fasting often. Why was he fasting a lot? Sometimes when you just hungry, you just turn it into a fast. You know what? I ain't ate all day. I'm gonna just fast for the rest of the time. I ain't got no food anyway. Often.
All right.
Keep going.
Sir. Beside those things that are without, that which come upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
And besides all of the quarrels and the perils and the shipwreck and all the stuff I had to deal with, I still got to be there for y'all. Still have to be there for the schools. Still got to do the work. This is my daily life. Perils with rib, you're fighting with your rib. You lose your job. Your car break down. That's what your excuse is to not do the work. Man, we beefing. I just got to get my head right. I just need a little time. I need a little break. My car broke down. Yeah, man. It was it didn't start right up, man. You know, I just don't want to get on the road and it stop. That's you. That wasn't him. Oh, and his man, he's like, after all that stuff I got to go through in my normal life, I still got to worry about the schools. Keep going.
Who is weak and I am not weak?
He's like, who is weak? Not me. Who weak? No, not me. Keep going.
Who is offended and I burn not?
Keep going.
If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern mine infirmities.
Read that part one more time.
If I must needs glory,
if I need glory,
I will glory of the things which concern my infirmities.
Keep going.
The God and Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not.
He said, he just talked some real black stuff to you. He's like, I put that on everything.
Real talk.
The Lord know I ain't lying. You know that's what I went through. Why? For your king, for your nation. You trying to get all the breakdowns, it's gonna be a whole lot of stuff that come with that's outside of them breakdowns. That's what you need to be ready for. Live the truth. You're gonna learn it through living it. If you learn it through living it, it'll never leave. If you live it, if you live it through learning it, that's what I meant to say. It'll never leave. But if you learn it, it may leave out of you. If you learn it first and then try to get the experiences afterwards, you're going to be more about learning. Living is going to teach you. Going through it is going to be a better tool. Experience is always a better teacher. Now, if you want to avoid certain experiences, then that's where you ask for the learning. But you ask for the breakdown through somebody that's in here, not from everywhere else, because that won't get you nowhere. All right.
So, sir, we got a couple comments in the chat and a question. Off the top, I said, like it, sir. Brotherhood is the only breakdown to understand all of the other breakdowns.
That's a fact.
All right. Like it, sir.
How you gonna understand anything in the Bible if you don't understand brotherhood? Name something in the Bible that ain't got nothing to do with brotherhood, and I'll show you that it do. Just pick something. Pick something in the Bible that you don't think got nothing to do with brotherhood. Give me a test. Try it. Pick anything in the Bible, and I'll show you brotherhood. And when you run it in your mind to try to find it, you're gonna say, "Oh, dang, well, I guess that is brotherhood too. Dang, I guess that's brotherhood too." Just pick something, any story. It's 1,000 stories in the Bible. You can't think of one thing that I won't be able to reflect it back to brotherhood. Then if you can't do that, why isn't brotherhood the most important thing in your life? If you can look at the Bible and you can't find a story that I could show you that brotherhood is involved with it, then why isn't brotherhood involved in all your stories? Because you are hypocrite. Hypocrite. What else we got?
Well, that's it right there. I just said a question to the
Questions in the room? Go ahead.
I want a concert, if I may. I was just thinking, what you brought out was very heavy. I was just thinking back, I've been having the relationship with my mom. I want to just, if this ever happened, like when I was in the world, like I was her favorite. Like I could do nothing wrong. Not my junior, no matter what I did, if I was in the streets, had 20 women, it was like I was her knight in shining armor. I come in the truth, and now it's like you ain't shit. Like what's that about? Is that kind of on the lines of what you was bringing out earlier about her seeing the the God in me, and now she's hating because she's a pastor or she thinks she know more, and now that I'm holding her to what thus says the Lord about not eating pork and things of that nature, and now it's like she was gonna lead a house to me, this and that, and all this, and now it's like, nigga,
you fighting a demon. You're not fighting your mama.
Kind of all kind.
The demon that's in your mother knows that you have a hold on her, and you can make her change. And so the demon has to hate you because he doesn't want to be kicked out of her. So being just not talking to you is easier for the demon to survive. If you press the issue and keep going over there and keep loving her and don't talk about the Bible, just be the son you've always been to her. Love her, be by her side, help her. All of the demon power that's in her mind that won't allow her to listen to the truth, she'll see the truth. When I talk to my family members, I never talk about the Bible. Ever. I don't mention it. They talk about it to me. And I say, oh man, we ain't got to talk about that. You know, like, you know, you believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. I ain't even here to talk about the Bible. But how Uncle whatchamacallit doing? When the next time you going out to the country? And they be craving it so bad. They really want to get into it. But I know that the more you talk to me, the more accountable you're going to be held. Because now you know better. You go sin willingly after receiving the knowledge of the truth from the Lord's men. There remaineth no sacrifice for sin. Because I love you, I don't even want that fire in your life. So I'll just not even talk to you about it. And the Lord is going to still thump you upside the head because you're seeing it. But it'll be a little easier for you to adjust as like your mother because she knows you. And when she see the new you, she can't deny the new you. She'll be like, yeah, I don't like it, but she ain't gonna say it to you. She's saying it to her friends, just like Nicodemus. She gonna go to somebody and be like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, he a whole lot better than he used to be.
And that's crazy that you said that because we had the conversation the last time we talked, and she was saying it on the phone, but she thought she hung up, and her husband's phone had called me back, and then I heard her.
Yeah,
JR always talking about telling somebody what the Bible say, like saying it.
She admires you.
Eyes.
She admires you. She loves you, and it's wearing on her that she doesn't have the power on you to get you to do what she wants you to do because the demon wants you back in Christianity. The Christianity lost a good soldier when they lost you. We were all soldiers for white Jesus when we were in the world. When we were selling drugs, white Jesus was like, boy, that's it. That's what I want him to do. Live by grace, young man. Live by grace. Don't forget about that grace. You got that grace in your chest? That's exactly where I need you to be. He lost a damn general when he lost you.
Damn.
And now you over here and you a trooper. And he like, you would rather take less pay? Damn. All the women I gave you, the money and the drugs and the popularity, you want to go over there to be moving tables and go through perils and lose job and lose family? You want to go over there and suffer when I was giving you stuff? Man, come on, man. Come back to Death Row Records. Come on back, man. You tripping. And because your mother sees you go through everything you go through and you go through it cheerfully, you don't let it break you. It's like, dang, he really growing up. Right. I can't lie. You know, when you hear that, I can't even lie. You know, this little new thing he doing, it's really helping him and his family. Even though I don't agree with it, he got all them wives. But hey, it's working for him. It don't work for me. It don't work for me because my faith, I'm locked in my faith. But it's working for him, and if it worked for him, then I can't be mad. And then what's gonna happen is Christianity gonna stop working for her because God is closing the doors on the church. The doors of the church. That church across the street is 3 services on Sunday, and each service is a different pastor. Right. It's a 10 o'clock, it's an 8 o'clock pastor, a 10 o'clock pastor, and a 12 o'clock pastor. and they got 3 different congregations that come through there. They got 3 different sets of musicians that come through there, and they all have to do that because all 3 of them are splitting the rent.
Right.
Next door is 8 different ministers that come over here, and they have 8 different services a week because they all are splitting the rent.
Real talk.
All right. We all teach the same thing. We in different congregations. We are one body in here.
That's right.
We ain't splitting nothing. You see what's happening? The Lord is. It was a church down the street. I was driving up the street. They had people sitting in the corners in the back room, face the wall, like they was in timeout. I guess they was like praying or something, and I guess they was they secret corner or something. And the closet, yeah. And they was all over the room like it looked like they was in timeout, like little kids. And they were just sitting in the chair like this. It looked like an insane asylum. And I drove by and I was looking at them. And the leader, the preacher, he was walking around with his Bible under his arm. And I guess he was saying some stuff. And he was like throwing water on them. And I'm looking at him. And I'm stopped at the stop sign. It's right up here. And I'm looking. And I let my window down. And I let him know that I was looking at him. And then as soon as he looked at me, I said, and I sat back, let the window up, and drove off. The next week I drove by there, they had blinds just like that, over for the windows. A month later I came, they closed. You ain't got to worry about that. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about it. Your mama is gonna be in here doing this. Yahweh Shema, Allah Ta'ala Hashem Yahweh Shah, real soon, because she ain't gonna have nowhere else to go.
Got on all concert.
Ain't gonna be no more other Jesuses for her to serve. Because Kahan, why not?
Well, it's not gonna be no good because they all gonna be torn down.
All the idols and all the graven images and all the false gods are gonna be cast down.
Right.
I'm saying it happened right now. You ain't gotta worry about that.
The water side.
Oh, we got one question in the chat, sir. If it's not in the room, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you want to have a time.
We good. We good.
So we got a brother in the chat asks, Salaki Adawan, if I may, with your grace, and Zechariah 14, who is standing at the Mount of Olives in this verse?
Zechariah 14, which verse?
I have it pulled up, sir.
All right.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 4. And his feet, I'll start at verse 3, sir, if I may. Then shall
I'll start at verse 1.
Sir.
And then we're going to get about it.
Sir. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. Verse 4. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives.
Whose feet are we talking about? The Lord. What it says in verse 3. Then shall the Lord go forth, verse 4, and his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives. Go ahead.
Which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south.
What was his question?
So his question is answered. It said, who is standing in the Mount of Olives in this verse?
Anything else? Question in the room? Sis?
When you're making a point about not talking about the food or whatever, with your family, can that apply to inviting them to classes also?
Oh no, invite them to class. They're gonna invite you to family and friends day, ain't you? Ain't they gonna invite you to the pastor's annual anniversary? The pastor's and wife anniversary? Come on, you know Reverend Johnson. He baptized you when you was little.
Right.
Go ahead and come to the anniversary. He'll really be happy to see you. They'll be happy to see you. They're like, Mama, you know what? Come to Passover. You ain't never been to a Passover. They'll be happy to see you.
Real talk. Real talk.
You know what she gonna say? I ain't going there with them folks. You know what you gonna say? I ain't going up there with them folks either. That's it. My mama asked me to come to church. Let me give you a cheat sheet. My mama said, come to church and see the pastor and them, and this and that. I said, all right, I'm gonna come. When church is over, I was in the parking lot. I said, hey, what's going on, real? Hey, man, I even recognize you. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna see you later. And then I went, I seen them. I obeyed my mother. I went and seen who she wanted me to see. I gave them hugs. I gave everybody sugar. All the old people looking at me. Oh, look at him. He got so big. I'm just standing out there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I left. I ain't have to hear no, melodies from heaven rain down on me. I ain't have to hear none of that.
Insane.
Everybody got what they wanted. And that's it. That's all you got to do. You know how to obey somebody enough to not do what they want you to do, but do what they want you to do. You do it every day.
Right.
You do it every day. How much I got to make? How much y'all say I got to make to get these food stamps? Okay. Because my other check,
right,
that I get cash on that.
Right.
So that's on paper. Yeah, that's about right. That's how much I make.
Right.
With them food stamps. If you can't do that, because come on, get out of here. All right, that's it. Go ahead, Con.
Just a real quick breakdown of Philippians chapter 1. I had a question about 24. I'm going to start at 21.
You said Philippians what?
Philippians 1 and 24 is the question I have. But if I could start at 21.
All right.
The book of Philippians chapter 1 verse 21. For me to live is Christ and to die is gain. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I should choose, I walk not. Verse 23, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. Verse 24, nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. But now I notice it's Paul and Timotheus in verse 23 when he says, for I am a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. In that particular context, is he talking about, is he struggling and conflicted about leaving the truth and being with Christ? Is that what we're talking about right there?
I didn't want to die. He want to leave for real. But he like, it's better that I stay in the flesh, but I would rather be with Christ. Niggas be wanting to escape. Escape that's what suicide is for.
Right.
They escape. But he like, I can't do that. I gotta stay here and I gotta work. I got stuff to do. But it would be easier. Be way better if I could just get up out of here and go be with the Lord. That's what And I'm in the betwixt between the two, having the desire to depart. You know what I'm saying? It just you gotta they ain't have freedom of speech. Just imagine the scrutiny they was under, and you could die at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Somebody could just say, I heard him say, yeah, me too. Bring him in. That's a rough life to live. And you black? And Romans is walking around your streets? Shit.
And sir, 24, I had a question. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. What is he saying right here?
Stay alive. Being in the flesh we need you here in the flesh.
Right.
It's more needing we need you here alive with us. We don't need you to depart.
Right.
Get the betwixt of the two out your mind.
Right.
You stuck here with us. I need you at camp. How the hell you gonna be on post if you dead? Come on now, man. We already need 20 men for camp. We can't go with 19.
Right.
Suck it up. Just toughen it up. Here, take a drink.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Does that mean, is that like the same thing when John Muhammad says you don't have permission to die?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's it. All right, with that, pass the class over to choose precinct officer IBR. Give him a hand.
This is Israelite School of University of Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits. For 6 months, they are here to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother and sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give it to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations. We have the memorial of blowing of the trumpets is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. This is the first day of the 7th month, and it can be found in Leviticus 20, chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, that's the ISUPK security announcements.
The brother said that his question really, he meant to say that who is the Mount of Olives, not who was it about. The Mountain of Olives is talking about Israel and the power structure of Israel that's going to be in the north, south, east, and west, meaning going to be ruling all over the land. That's all that is. That's just the mount of anything is the top. And so that's what that is, the top of your nation, and you're going to be ruling with 3 gates in the east, 3 gates in the west, 3 gates in the north, 3 gates in the top, in the south, on the top. That's what that is. With that, Amajim, which means to stand, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Sisters, y'all have to stand yet. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Yajim Matah, Saw. Turn towards the sisters Amajim. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Yajim Matah, class dismissed.